Hey, welcome to Jews in the Media. Saltwater Jews in the Media. What was that?
I have no idea. What's going on, man?
Hey, how you doing?
I am
Jew?
well. I am a Jew.
How are Jew doing?
I am doing well.
Are Jew enjoying this cold weather we're having here?
I am, because it's not like bitterly cold, but I do miss that. I do miss like that 10 below, just 0 Fahrenheit does not exist here.
No, it doesn't.
It just doesn't. It doesn't get that cold in this country.
No.
And I miss that. I know, everybody says it's, too much, but
I miss it. But you know what? I also miss having a house that's properly insulated, so that when it's -3 outside, it could still be like 70 inside. The average temperature in my apartment is about 55 degrees.
Oh yeah, and the floors are
ice cold.
just ice.
Ice cold.
I have a carpet. I can't not have a carpet. I don't understand not having a carpet. At least, if not wall-to-wall carpeting, like a rug or something. I know so many people who are against having any carpets on the floor. I get out of bed. I don't want to step on the ice-cold stone, marble, granite,
That's what
whatever.
Slippers or socks are for.
I don't sleep with socks on usually.
You can get out of bed and
I don't
pick up your socks that are sitting next to you. You're on the floor from last night. Put them back on.
No, they're all crusty and cold. Well, cold.
What are you doing to your socks?
Right. So,
all right, let's not go there.
No, they are cold, and I don't jive with that.
You don't jive with that?
With cold socks in the wintertime?
I ain't down with that shit, yo.
No, I need either heated floors, which is very cool. I don't know if you've ever tried heated floors.
Well, they're very warm. They're not so cool.
Well, when they're off in the winter.
That's just a cold floor. It's not a heated floor. Heated floor wouldn't be cold.
Well, it is a floor equipped with heating capabilities.
Okay. Meanwhile, if it's off, it's just
off.
Floor.
Right. Well, it's still a floor.
You're not cooling the floor.
Yeah, but the heating element doesn't change the fact that it's a floor. It's still a floor.
It's still yes. Nobody's debating that. It is definitely still a floor.
Okay.
It does not become a ceiling when the heat is off.
But I have to ask. Okay, ghosts. Silly concept to me. I don't know. But how do they walk? How do they stay on the floor? If they can, if we're talking about the ghosts that can walk through walls, how do they stand? Or let's put it this way: ghosts that can walk through walls, but only walls that were built after they died. I don't know if you've ever heard this theory that ghosts can exist in the dimension or in the time period that they died. So if you're in like an old building and there were new walls constructed, well, those walls didn't exist in their time, so they walk or they traverse right through those walls. What about floors? Because I've seen these movies where like a ghost is walking up, into a building and that building didn't exist. How is it? Is it floating? I don't understand.
Well, you know what I think?
No.
I have no real actual opinion. I don't know.
I don't care, really, because it's kind of a waste of time. I don't know.
So you've decided to waste some of our 60 minutes of our podcast talking about something you don't care or know about.
Yep.
Fair enough.
What do I care about, though? I guess
there was something I wanted to disrupt all of our plans and talk about for just a second, but I forgot what it was because of your ghost thing.
Ghosts.
Yeah, ghosts just completely screw. Oh, Oh,
Whoa, whoa.
Oh,
Easy. Not in here.
I remember. No, that's. Quick, give me a sock. No.
Out.
Have you heard of this thing? It's called.
No.
It's like Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg's
Yes.
roadside.
I have no idea what it is.
Picnic.
You know what?
thing.
You know what?
They have a cooking. I have seen it. They have a cooking show together.
Is it stupid?
It's exactly as stupid as you would expect it to be.
Is it?
Snoop Dogg's like, yo, she's so funny, and she's like, oh, Snoop Dogg, you're so funny. I be pimping and killing hoes. I smack them up and set them out for. Oh, it's so funny. Oh, you're Snoop Dogg.
It's a good thing.
It is so disturbing to watch, and it's not like they're sitting there fucking making like pot, quote unquote pot pies. Or marijuana laced things.
Oh
or
my
something
god, I
that
miss
would,
chicken pot pie.
Something that would be appropriate for someone
Was
who
it
has
Marie
their own
Callender's?
brand of marijuana, like Snoop Dogg does. But he's sitting there
Yeah.
with Martha Stewart. Like, okay, fine. Like, I guess, like, is it cool because she's been to jail now, or like, what is it that makes it okay for like.
I think
No, that should be brands crossing that should not be allowed to cross.
I agree.
That's like crossing the streams in Ghostbusters. That's a no.
And you're a big fan of rap, right?
Yes, I'm a huge fan of rap. Everyone knows that about me.
Guy.
Love the rap.
Yeah, I don't like it. It's weird. Like everything needs to be. I don't know. I'm not surprised. Wow, that was a lot of
Everything
deliberations.
needs to be like I don't like. Surprise!
I'm not surprised that this happened. This Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart merger. And I guess that's what's annoying, is that I'm not surprised by it. Because of the way all of these, like 50 Cent. I don't know if I could even name a single song of his. But I do see him
50 Cent or 50 cents.
Has
50
I think it's
cents.
50 Cent. He's been a spokesman for what? For what? The guy was shot. He was like, whoa, what is this person done that
He was a crack dealer who was shot 9 times and didn't die.
Great, but he's
That's
like
what he
he's
did.
having political conversations.
That's not what he did.
Like-
that was what his job. That's who he was before he.
Right. No,
became
I know
known for
that. But
rapping about
but he
being
was on
shot
one of
9
these-
times for selling crack.
But he was on one of these late night shows
and selling women.
and
into
they were
prostitution.
asking him like political questions. Leave him alone. Whatever answer he's gonna give isn't going to educate anyone. He's not an authority. So like, what word does he have to put in on this?
Why am I not allowed to grab a girl's ass as she walks by me in the street? But he's okay to. But it's okay for him and Snoop Dogg and other rappers to talk about pimping out hoes. Okay, as in making girls
Talking
making
about or
women,
singing about or rapping about?
Well, allegedly,
'Cause rapping is a different thing. It's an
allegedly,
art. Like,
allegedly,
it's-
to this day, okay, Snoop Dogg is still pimping out hoes.
I don't
okay?
deny
Which
it.
means
First of all, I
he
don't deny
still
it.
has girls, okay, who are prostituting themselves, forcibly prostituting themselves, and giving him the money. Okay, yet
And he
some
gives them, like, a
reason
cheeseburger?
he's allowed to be on a primetime network TV show with Martha Stewart, and it's all okay. Meanwhile, everyone
'Cause
in
it
Hollywood is
talks
going.
like this.
Meanwhile, what's his name? That Mexican Jewish comedian guy gets in trouble for pulling out his dick and jerking off in front of 2 girls.
Mexican Jewish comedian.
Yeah,
Louis C.K.
Louis C.K.
I don't think he's even Jewish.
He is Jewish.
I think he's not. He's
Jewish.
Czech. It's just
One is a religion, one is a country. The two aren't exclusive to each
They
other.
are.
He's Mexican and Jewish. Yes, I've heard him talk about it on interviews.
No, you haven't.
But that's not the point. The point is all this Me Too shit. Meanwhile, the whole fucking rap world is filled with guys that joke about hitting their fucking hoes, prostituting them, and that's completely fine. Nobody's sitting there going boycott a rapper who someone else will have to name later. I don't actually know any of the names.
Well, the US,
but I've heard people talking about them.
The U.S. is a litigatory nation. They're huge on suing lawsuits.
Yeah,
everybody wants in on it.
It's true.
And on whatever.
More people are trying to get rich from lawsuits than
exactly.
from going to school and trying to earn a living.
No, I'm not discrediting these women who have been abused, but a guy pinching your butt. This was something that was done back then, and I'm not saying it should be done now.
Back when?
Back in the 60s and the 50s. It was. Women held a different position in the
so because it was common in the 50s and 60s, that makes it okay to do today.
That's exactly what I didn't say.
Oh, because it sounded
like
exactly
the opposite of what I said. I said that's not giving credit to it. That's not saying that they should continue doing it now. And that's my point. The fact that they did it then, that I understand. In the 80s, even it was done. Okay. There's women who are coming out who are saying, yeah, back in the 80s, he pinched my butt. I want $600,000. Fuck you. That's ridiculous. That's stupid. First of all, I think there's a statute of limitations on it. I don't know.
Well, imagine this. Imagine
that is just a ridiculous
80s,
thing to say.
You were trying to get a job in Hollywood. And someone, some director was just like, hey, get on your knees, open up your mouth, and I'll give you an acting role. And you say no. And then you had to, go get a job as a waitress, or, now you do data entry or whatever at some big company or whatever.
And you want a piece of that, yeah.
And you're like, I could have been a movie star and made a whole bunch of money and everything else, but because of what this guy did, I gotta, why can't you sue for the possibility of lost income or whatever. Okay,
emotional damage.
Everyone else sues for shit like that. No, not just emotional damage.
Well, yeah, but
okay,
whatever.
You can sue for what would that be? Plaintiff damages or financial damages or whatever. Yeah. Okay, if you think you would have made a lot of money, and because like if someone goes out there and says James is an asshole, don't trust James. Okay, James can go out. You can go out and say, wait a minute, because of what you said, I could have lost advertising dollars.
Libel, slander.
Yeah, because you slandered me, I could have lost
public defamation,
advertising dollars. Maybe someone would have wanted to come on my podcast and advertise, because so
this shit is real.
It's the same thing, but like the same,
but different.
Yeah.
That happened with Cosby as well. What was it? There were like 18 women or something at the time, and like 6 or 7 or so. There was a few of them who didn't actually have a claim. They just wanted money, so they made up a story. Listen, everybody wants to be a part of a crowd, and when there's a crowd that's against a person to get money, well, who doesn't like money?
Well, I don't want to bash these women, but I just want to say
Are you sure?
What the fuck are they doing going back to a guy's apartment in the you know what I'm saying? Like, if I meet a chick and we go back to my apartment when I was, obviously when I was single. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to it's assumed that don't want to say there's an understanding, and a girl can't go back to a guy's apartment.
Right.
You know what? Let me take this out of it. Let me take it out of it. If you go up to a celebrity's apartment, you should know better. They are going, a celebrity is inviting some, girl from the bar or whatever, or whatever that she met backstage at a show, or whatever, back to his hotel room because he wants to get to know her more.
So you're saying just never go home with a celebrity?
Absolutely, I'm saying that. Never go to a celebrity's hotel room or back to his house at night.
Wait, what happens when we're celebrities?
That makes no difference to me.
It makes a difference to me.
No, nobody should ever understand. Under no circumstances should anyone ever come back to James's to your apartment.
I'm not gonna not disagree with that.
I know what happens to women that walk in these doors. Whoa.
What the fuck is going on in Hawaii?
Surfing. Oh. Shrimp on a stick.
But shouldn't they, like, the country closest to or the farthest west in the US, we'll say it that way. The country the farthest west in a relatively, generally speaking, vulnerable position, shouldn't they have an alert system that's up to par with today's standards?
Well, what makes you think that it's not up to par to today's standards?
Well, I understood that it was very simple to access this this emergency system. What I saw was that they were using a drop-down box for the alert system. Now, whether it actually was a drop-down box or not, I'm not entirely positive. But I did see a screenshot of something. But then this guy, after having done this, 38 minutes later, they sent a notice. Now, before that, the mayor, I think it was the mayor, the governor of Hawaii had tweeted something like 4 minutes after. But the emergency alert system didn't finally do anything until 38 minutes later. It was him or one of the other cabinet. It was somebody else.
Grab your ankles and say goodbye,
or
like, hey, don't worry about it. It is a false alarm.
No, that's the Kansas tornado method. Get up against the wall, put your head between your legs, kiss your ass goodbye. But yeah, somebody I don't know, remember if it was the governor or the mayor or one of the other folks that had notified that it was a false alarm.
I can't remember. The best thing about the entire thing, all right, shit happens, right? A guy came in and he was doing something and he clicked the wrong button and hit the wrong button or whatever, and bloop, bloop. Okay, this warning goes up, right? All right, a bunch of people panic and everything else. And it's really bad and everything else, and maybe he should be suspended. I don't think the guy should lose his job for an accident. People make accidents at their jobs all the time.
Yeah, but I I'm not saying it's a dangerous place to live, but we have drills beyond drills. Actually, I don't know when the last time there was a drill, but we have alerts from time to time. It's happened, and you see people losing it. My neighbors knocked on our door. They heard me in my room, and I was listening to music, watching a movie, something, and they were knocking on my door. And they never knock on our door. I know them. I've seen them. I think I'm friends with one of them on Facebook, maybe. But they knock on our door, and they're like, "James, come on out. Come on out." I'm in my room. I'm fine. And they're like trying to get me to come out into the stairwell to wait with them. So I can only imagine for 38 minutes people are sitting in the stairwells or in bomb shelters, whatever sort of
I doubt these
amenities or whatever they have.
I doubt people were sitting in shelters and in
But what were they
stairwells.
doing for those 30? Like
Panic. They were running around with chickens with their their heads cut off, because
head cuts off.
while you've been here during a war and everything else, and you have had to run to a shelter or get into your stairway, people in the United States, when I mean, okay, maybe you guys had tornado drills or anything, but did you ever have a bomb drill? Okay, we never had drills. We never had how to run to the shelter, how to take shelter, what to do in case of a bomb attack. And I'm betting on Hawaii, they never fucking had it either. People were sitting there going, "Hey, I'm on my way to work. La 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 la. I'm having some coffee. Holy fucking shit! There's a ballistic missile alert."
I'm not really expecting them to be familiar with it. It was just the alert system.
I literally could imagine just running around, just people running around in circles for 38 minutes going. So you can picture that. It's really funny, isn't it?
What else is in the news?
But my favorite part about the whole story is that, like, the next day or 2 days later, I sit there and I see in the paper some celebrity, I can't remember who it was, and they're blaming Trump. It's his fault. How is it his fault? What did Donald Trump pick up the phone and go, "Yo, guy, do me a favor, hit the wrong button. Thanks." Click. I mean, what did it? "Oh, hello, this is Donald Trump. You're fired." You know, I mean,
no, but given the way that he's been speaking, I can understand how people wouldn't be surprised if there were a bomb threat. If it were real.
Okay. So that means there should have been even less panic, because they should have been suspecting it more, not less. So if anything else, because of his talk or what, because you know what I'm saying, they should be more prepared for the possibility.
Yeah, but they're not prepared.
Oh my God, there's no possibility, and then suddenly there's a bomb threat.
Possibility or not, shouldn't they be freaking out either way?
But either way.
Either way, they would be freaking out. It doesn't matter.
Exactly. No, but you know what I'm saying? Like, if I sit there and I know that, like, shit's going on between Israel and Lebanon, okay, and the rhetoric is getting tossed up and little skirmishes are happening back and forth and everything else, I know that there's a possibility that one day there's going to be, sirens and some real shit going on. Okay, so, like, North Korea and Trump having this thing in the news, going this back and forth, makes people think about it, and they should be more aware of the fact that it could happen, rather than like 3 years ago when nothing's going on, then all of a sudden you're driving to work, and take shelter.
Yeah, but that's North Korea wasn't even really in the news. Nobody was talking about that.
Exactly, that would make it more of a surprise.
So now there's a bomb threat.
It's like you're just sitting there. You're just sitting there in the comfy chair, and all of a sudden, blah, the Spanish Inquisition. You didn't expect me.
In a situation where there's no talk about North Korea, nothing. Not hearing a single word about them.
Nobody.
There's a bomb
the Spanish
threat.
Inquisition.
I would most likely think that it was an accident.
I don't know.
When I hear our president
alert, I don't start thinking, it's probably nothing.
But when I hear our president,
hey, it's probably.
But when I hear our president egging on the leader of North Korea, all of a sudden a bomb threat doesn't sound so unlikely for it to be real. It seems a little bit more likely that it was real.
James, I'm going to give you a piece of advice.
That's why they blame Trump.
When someone screams, "Take shelter," there's a ballistic missile on its way.
No, this was
maybe you should just.
This is an emergency alert through the emergency system. It wasn't somebody telling you to take shelter. You get a notification.
You're right.
On your phone.
It was the emergency alert thing. So, So what you're saying is that a couple of years ago you would have just seen this thing and it's been like, it's probably a mistake. And I'm just saying that maybe to be a smart piece. Maybe
again, I still would have freaked out.
Maybe it would put you a little bit higher on the scale of survivability on the survivors list, higher than those kids that are like chewing on Tide balls. If you would take shelter,
are people actually doing that shit?
Alert? Oh yeah, apparently they're doing it.
Like I've seen videos talking about people doing this, but I've not actually seen. I don't know. I don't believe any of the videos that I've seen yet. I have not investigated this.
I've seen
more than
enough
one video,
reports of it that I have to assume that it's probably true.
Wow, people are really fucking stupid.
Yes, they are.
It's just
the same kind of people that don't take fucking shelter when there's a goddamn emergency alert telling you to take shelter.
It's just taking a cup of fucking washing powder.
Well, it's
like
it's
laundry soap,
liquid stuff. Yeah.
Well, there's the one that I saw was
plastic
the
thing, and you throw it in the wash, and I guess it dissolves in the wash.
I know what they are, but there was the one that was powder. There was the one that was powder, and then there was the liquid one with like two like yin and yang shape.
That's what they're doing it with.
So that and the powder. So I saw somebody do the powder. Either way, just drink down a cup of liquid soap.
Hey, kids, I've got a new game for you. It's called Walk Up to the Top of a Building and Jump Off and Flap Your Wings. It's a great game.
Grow wings first.
No. Don't grow wings first. Just get up there and try it. You can do it. It's good for you. And the ones that try it,
should do it.
And the ones that try it, we didn't need anyway.
Oh, Darwin Awards.
Damn you, Darwin. Damn you, warning labels.
Yeah.
This is why there are more and more stupid people, because there's more and more things with warning labels on them now. Get rid of some warning labels. We'll see less stupid people walking around the streets. The people will be driving better. There'll be less stupid people.
Hands down, number one favorite label. Favorite label. If you have popcorn at home.
Yeah.
I want you to go home. I want you to take out a packet in its plastic sleeve. Okay? You'll remove the plastic sleeve. You'll you'll remove the popcorn bag, unfold it, and you'll read the instructions.
Do I have to do that tonight because I don't plan on making
Instruction
popcorn?
number 1, remove plastic overwrap on every single bag of popcorn I've ever seen. Remove plastic overwrap. Step 2, obviously set in microwave or unfold and then set in the microwave. You have to remove the plastic overwrap to get to the instructions to tell you to remove the plastic overwrap.
Yeah,
it always says this, and it's hilarious. I just find that funny. I don't know why, but I've never seen the popcorn. Like, you can't see the instructions with the bag folded, so you have to open it to see the instructions to tell you to open it. What if you weren't supposed to open it? They already fucked up.
There's probably been people that have left the whole thing closed, just thrown it in a microwave, and then tried to sue when they got like poisoned from the plastic.
Just take the whole thing, throw it in a pot of water.
For the first time,
boiled popcorn.
For the first time since I was a kid, I made popcorn on the stovetop.
Jiffy Pop?
No. I just got a bag full of popcorn kernels. Got in a pot, poured a little bit of oil in it, poured a little bit of popcorn, a bunch of kernels, and put the top on it. And a couple minutes later, I had a giant pot full of popcorn.
I have never done that.
Really?
Yeah.
As a kid, we used to do it all the time.
I used
and
to
then
throw
I got
them in
older.
the fire.
I got older. We got a microwave in the house, and then my dad used to go to Costco and get the giant thing of 50 bags of popcorn, microwave popcorn, and that was it. But yeah, we used to make it. We used to make it from scratch all the time. Throw it in a big giant thing and then go to the drive-in.
No, my mom had, and I bet they still do have the popcorn maker. It's like the popcorn maker, but it has the yellow translucent plastic chute that it shoots it through. With the butter tray, the metal butter tray, you can dump the butter.
Well, that was without oil. It was a hot air popper.
Yeah. You probably know exactly the one I'm talking about. It's the model
that's the
everyone
healthiest
ever saw.
way to make popcorn is that way. But I haven't seen them here in a store.
I don't even know if they make them anymore.
I know exactly what you're talking about with the little thing that made the butter.
Oh yeah.
Which was
I'm looking it up on images.
No matter how much we had one of those.
No, but I want to see the one that my mom has, probably still has. I'll find it here in a sec.
All right, this is really interesting.
But yeah,
popcorn.
No, these are all new models, but it's like this type of plastic.
Yeah, that's exactly what we had.
You know what the fuck I'm talking about. Come on.
That's exactly what we had. Hey, wait, scroll down. Right there, the last picture on the left. Yeah, click it.
Oh, yeah.
That's exactly it.
Yeah, me too.
It's exactly what we had.
Popcorn
pumper.
Popcorn pumper.
Popcorn humper.
With a butter tray, and you dump the kernels down through there, and yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
Anyway, fresh made popcorn, way better than microwave popcorn.
Fresh popcorn is great because we also had. Did you have Topsy's or was that a local?
The Topsy's popcorn.
It's a popcorn shop company, and they had a few locations and stands in some of the malls.
That definitely must have been a local thing.
Yeah, they were really good, really good. They sold their butter seasoning. There's like a butter seasoning and a cheese seasoning, and they were amazing.
Nope.
Yes.
Nope.
Yes.
Nope.
Yes. Just yes. I think my
no.
parents even still have the box that it came in.
Interesting.
Yeah. Good stuff.
So
not like those shithole countries.
Why? What do they have?
I don't know. Which are the shithole countries?
Do they have popcorn? They were African countries.
Africa and Haiti, right. You ever seen the capital of Gabon?
I've never been there.
It's like a city.
No, well, yes.
Like there's people, they're not living in huts.
Don't you think maybe you should kind of mention what it is now that we're changing to before you just say?
Oh, I think we all know about the shithole countries. If we are your news source,
you're completely screwed.
Yeah, bad move. Yeah.
Jews in the media, we are your partially informed news source.
Subtext.
We have all the stories kind of right.
We got the gist.
This just in. A lot of shithole countries in Africa,
Jews
apparently.
in the media get the gist.
Haiti and Africa are shitholes. Breaking news. Did you know this, James? Did you know that these countries were shitholes?
Do you know any Haitians? I think I know a Haitian.
I think it's possible that I have known Haitians.
Did you ever play GTA, Grand Theft Auto 3? No, Vice City.
I don't know. Maybe.
So on one of the little islands.
Is that one of the ones where you drive around and you kill hookers and take their money?
Yeah.
Oh, I played that one.
So in one of them, this created a lot of backlash. it said one of the instructions in a mission was kill all the Haitians. Haitians did not like that.
Boo-hoo-hoo, poor Haitians.
Kill all the Haitians. I mean, out of context, it's hilarious. In context, it's part of the game. And
one time in a video game, someone said, "Kill all the Haitians." Do you have any idea how many times every single day multiple people say, "Kill all the Jews"?
This is a game, though, that was produced and released and sold.
Yeah, exactly. The people talking "kill all the Jews" are real people talking about killing real Jews.
Politics and business are not necessarily the same always. Usually not.
Wait, what? Politics and business aren't the same?
Well, there are ties between them, many very strong ties. But there are also separations. Doesn't mean that they are alike in every single way. Right? You can agree with me on that, right?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll just agree to agree with that. So try. I didn't even hear exactly what he said, and then he said he didn't say it, and it was to put out of context, whatever. But okay, this was the gist of it. We're getting a lot of people from poor countries. Why can't we get people from better countries as well? Why are we taking all these
from
poor people?
Specifically Norway, I think.
Yeah,
because he had just met with the Norwegian prime minister.
But I think the concept behind it was, we take in a lot of people from shithole countries, and we do, and these people come over and they're, poor and they're looking for a better life and everything else. But he says we also want other people who are going to bring other things to the mix other than being poor and a refugee. And let's face it, when you think of African countries, do you think, cool place to be, let's go there? Or do you think people living in huts, starving, flies flying all around their heads, living in what would generally be classified as
you're talking about
shithole?
the Sally Struthers Africa. That's the only Africa that you know.
Well, no,
because that's the only Africa.
Whoa,
no, I'm not saying that's the only Africa that you know.
What I said was when
Actually,
you
I did
picture,
literally say that.
when someone says to you like an African nation, when someone says to you Ghana or one of these things, right? What image appears in your head?
I know what Accra looks like in Ghana. I know what the city looks like because I've seen. I was always interested in seeing what these places look like. So I have an understanding already. So maybe it's just hard for me to see it from that perspective.
You going to go there on your next vacation?
No, I don't need to. I know what it looks like.
See it on Google Maps good enough for you?
No, this is way before Google Maps. This is fucking Encyclopedia Britannica and I remember this shit from back in the day.
I see.
But
so if I booked you a trip now to go to the South Sudan, lovely place. I'm sure they have a city there somewhere.
I did not say that every place is a lovely place. There are many places in the United States that I do not think are lovely.
But for the most part, when you hear African nations, do you think thriving place with great cities?
Okay,
or do you mostly think shithole?
If we're talking, okay, so there's the Saharan countries, which are extremely hot. I don't want to go to those places because they're extremely hot. Algeria has a very big city. Tripoli is a very big city. It's too hot. I don't want to go there. South,
I'm sure they have air
love to see the Congo, but I don't know
it.
what any of the cities in the Congo look like.
It's quite hot here too. You came
I
here.
think it's a lot hotter than the Sahara.
Sit inside your hotel with an air conditioning, I'm sure.
You know why I didn't call it the Sahara Desert?
Or do you think it's a shithole and they don't have air conditioning, huh? Is that what you're trying to say? Fucking racist? They don't have air conditioning because they live in a shithole third world nation?
Yes. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Some countries I would like to see, but like the rest of the world, there's some countries I don't want to see in other continents.
Really?
Tajikistan, I don't know what I need to see there.
On the African continent, what countries would you want to go to?
Congo. I would love to see Kenya. South Africa, I would like to see Botswana. I'd love to see Victoria Falls. Just, this is stuff that I remember learning about in school, and it was always incredible and fascinating. And
just Google it. You go to YouTube.
Okay.
What do I need to go there for? Bugs.
I'll do that for now.
Bugs and lions. Have you seen lions?
No, but I do agree that is twisted. That you have to get injections before going there because it's that dangerous.
Yeah.
There's so many. I mean, it's just diseases that we've never been introduced to. Yes.
Can go down to can go to Orlando and go to Disney, and I don't need to get any shots. Unless I go down to the hookers down in Orlando, and then, but you get those shots after.
Before and after.
Well, generally you get those kind of shots afterwards, but
Get a rabies shot just in case.
Hey Doc, I'm gonna fuck a lot of hookers. Can you give me something just in case?
Wonder what he would give you.
Condom, probably. Try this.
Yes. But shithole countries, I don't know. It wasn't so much these specific countries. It was that the fact that he used the term shithole countries. It's just not. It's childish. It's just childish. It's childish. It's unprofessional when other countries look at us and the way this person speaks. Do you think that he exudes a demand for respect?
Oh God, no.
Is he warranting of any level of respect?
No.
We're a fucking joke to the rest of the world because of this clown.
I wouldn't say we're a joke to the rest of the world.
They're terrified of us because we're unpredictable right now.
Let's make something perfectly clear that I believe that the United States has been becoming a joke on an international level for many years.
This is very true.
This
is very true. The American Empire fell.
Now, I happen to think that while many people are laughing at Trump, I think one of the things that they are doing is that they have, let's say, become more fearful of the United States, more weary because of his because they don't know. Because they don't know. Is he going to do something?
They shouldn't be
Will he
fearful
go to war
of us.
with?
That's not our
is there
goal,
a reason?
though.
Is there, North Korea is sitting there going, is there a reason maybe we should come to the table and should start talking? Which, by the way, they have. They have started talking with South Korea, which they haven't done in years. And is that just because this guy is fucking crazy and they are trying to, who knows? But for fucking years, we did everything we could to try and pacify North Korea. And no matter what we gave them, a couple months later, they were back making threats, doing things again that they promised not to do last time we did something to pacify them. And now here they are entering into talks, something that the last two presidents, I think, haven't been able to get them to do. So unorthodox for sure. But is he as dumb as everyone says? Maybe he's listening to some advisors and doing what they're telling him to do.
So
and he comes off as crazy and unpredictable.
Can I ask you this?
You can now that I've finished.
What is I forgot what I wanted to ask. No, yeah, I did. Is it that he has pushed them to these talks, or is it that they're terrified of his unpredictability? Because we don't know. We don't know what he's going to do. At the end of the day, we don't want them to be fearful of us. We want peace, don't we? Or do we want war? Because there's money in war. There's always money in war, so we want to go to war. And I know he wants to go to war because he's probably going to make a lot of money off of it.
If the United States is going to be the alpha dog, if the United States is going to be the world's police, if the United States is going to be the one that everyone does look up to, then the United States has to have the power, has to have the command, the respect, and the fear, so that when they do stand up and say, "Hey, stop that shit," people go, "Oh yeah, no, sorry." Okay, nobody listens to "Oh hey, come on, guys." Please, it's like the old joke in America, when they were talking about
why is that our
England.
job?
Hold on, wait. Because it is the United. Because everyone looks to the United States. The United States everywhere. Sure, absolutely they do.
They do.
Then
not.
why is it a big deal than what the United States does? Then why is it if the United States decide to pull out of something, it's such a big deal? Because everyone does look to the United States as a leader.
America makes themselves the leader. They just bully their way into that position.
I don't think it's the United States that does it alone. I think a lot of the world put this onto the back of the United States. We were the big superpower. They looked to, a lot of these European countries and everything looked to the United States to help protect them from Russian nuclear threats and everything else. A lot of people fucking looked to the United States for help and as the big brother and everything else. It wasn't necessarily a position that we asked for. It was something that happened. It was something that happened over a long period of time. Look at it. We still have troops. Think about it. We still have troops from World War II all over Europe. Okay, in Germany and wherever the fuck else we have them.
They're still there?
Yes. I mean, not those exact troops. I mean, they went home, but other ones came and replaced
them. I was going to say, they're like...
Yeah, they'd be really old.
Like 90 years old, 80 and 90 years old.
No, but, and why are they still there? To help protect our interests, to help protect their interests. We had to help protect Germany because they're not allowed to understand, blah, 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 blah. But everyone likes
Trust
to sit there.
us. We're
Everyone likes
professionals.
to sit
We
there
know
and
what
complain.
we're talking about.
Everyone likes to sit there and complain about the things the United States does. Whenever there's a problem, everyone looks to the United States and goes, "What are you guys going to do?"
Because we've always been doing something.
It's
because it's always been like that.
To some degree, look about it. In 1990, whatever it was, when Saddam went into Kuwait, why was it that the United States? 91, 2.
91, 2, yeah.
89, 90, somewhere, in the 90s. Why was it that when he went into Kuwait, everyone looked to the United States? The United States had to go to the UN. The United States had to talk to all those different countries.
Wait.
And
did they look to the United States, or did the United States get involved on their own?
The UN did not sit there and go, "Okay, quick, we have to." United States, do you want in? We're building a coalition. It was George Bush.
George Washington? It was not George Washington. Herbert.
Herbert, yeah. It was George Bush Sr., that sat there and had to go to the United Nations and sat there and put together and talked to everyone and put to the a coalition. Okay? People were like, "Oh my God, this is going on." It was the United States that had to sit there and do it. It wasn't the United Nations. It wasn't this group that the United States has put all these millions of dollars into every year. Okay? They didn't sit around and say, "Okay, we have to stop this." Okay? They didn't do shit. It was the United States had to promise troops. The United States had to, the largest amount of troops and arms and everything else, and the most amount of money to go and to protect, oil interests.
Yeah.
But still, you look in Rwanda, and you look in those countries where these atrocities were happening. Okay, and people were looking to the United States and going, "Why aren't you doing anything? Do something, do something." Of course, we didn't do anything because we had no interest in them, but it was still the United States that was looked to. The UN didn't do anything. The UN goes, we're going to go with peacekeepers. Oh, look, they're chopping them up with axes, with machetes. Well, we should report that. Let's quickly get our soldiers to write in their notebook that they saw something happening. That's what fucking the UN is good for. The only people that are actually good for anything is the United States to step in and do something. We're expected to be the...
but for their interests.
The morality... Well, that's when we do something, is when our own interests are best involved. But everyone always looks to the United States and say, when are you going to do something? Where the fuck is where is the UN troops?
I think that's been happening less.
Where are the UN troops in Syria? How come they're not there?
What do the UN troops really do anyway?
7 years? 8 years the war in Syria has been going on?
The UN doesn't do anything.
And what happened when the United States, because of Obama, didn't step in? Russia stepped in. And that didn't make things better for us. So this is what happens when the United States doesn't step in. Russia gets involved. Iran gets involved.
Exactly.
You've got Russia, Iran, and Hezbollah operating in Syria. Does that sound good on our border?
Kind of. Listen. Go out in style,
What does that have to do with us?
Well, if they're on the border, they're going to end up coming in. They're not going to come in.
Well, they really haven't tried.
No, not yet. I don't know. See what happens.
But because we allowed this war to rage on for 8 years, this is 8 years that Hezbollah fighters and Iranian fighters now have had serious combat experience, which they could use to come against us.
Yeah.
As opposed to our soldiers who have a great deal of training and everything else, but definitely lack field experience in a war-type experience. Which is a major issue. That really is a big issue. That really could, make a big difference in a war. In the past, we had a lot of experienced fighters. Okay, most of the fighters and everything that were, most of the fighters,
are you saying they're not now?
63, 67, 73, Lebanon in the 80s and everything else. A lot of these soldiers are very green. Okay, it's even getting to the point where the older officers are lacking in this real type of wartime experience. A lot of them have a terrorist experience. They understand how to kick down doors in the villages and in the cities in the West Bank and in Gaza, and how to do these arrest missions and everything else, and how to take up the roadblocks. But in an actual war, okay, this is a different beast. Tanks coming through the Golan and everything else isn't something we've seen. Real field tactics on an open scale like that, with a real army size battle. This is something that Israel hasn't seen in a long time. We really lack the experience of. Now, we have a lot of technological advances that
no, we don't.
Probably does swing things in our favor, but that could change. A lack of experience could overcome. Their experience could possibly give them a big advantage over our technological superiority.
Well,
and moral superiority.
You have to work the way they work. We're being diplomatic about this. We're being careful. We're trying not to target children. We're trying not to target women, civilians of any kind.
I don't think that's true.
We try.
I don't think that's true. I think we try and minimize them. But if we know that there's
minimize the civilians.
We know that if they're shooting, we know. Yes, that's exactly what we try and do. There's 100,000. We want there to be 50,000 less. Let's try and minimize them.
100,000.
Well, you got to start somewhere. No, I think that we try and minimize casualties and everything else. But if there's someone we need to kill in this building, and we know that firing is going to hit 100 civilians, I think they pull that trigger. They try and do it at a time where it's going to be 100 people that might get hurt, as opposed to 1,000 people that might get hurt. But I don't think they're calling off any attack missions just because there's some civilians in the area.
Yeah. Good times.
Okay, fine. Let's move to something a little more lighthearted.
Abbas?
Did you see that video of the Jakarta stock exchange falling?
Oh yeah, that was insane.
Yeah.
What? How does happen?
I don't know. Some bad construction. Someone probably paid some money for some get some inspections passed. They didn't have proper permits or some shit like that. Someone did something shady. But yeah, the people were waiting for an elevator. And all of a sudden the little promenade, whatever you would call that, just collapses, just boom, down to the first floor. It was very funny.
How many did anybody die?
I don't think anyone died. Some people were lightly injured, sprained ankles and bruises.
Lame.
Minor concussions, possibly. Nothing good.
I mean, yeah, but still, I don't know. That's kind of lame, though.
Well, probably sucked if you were there.
Yeah, I don't know if I.
Kind of fucked up video though. You're watching it, you're like, holy shit.
Yeah. It was. It was not good, but I guess I did promise to talk about my mouse. So I will talk about my mouse.
You bought a mouse, did you?
I bought a mouse. I bought a mouse about 3 months ago.
Really?
It took about a month and a half to arrive.
Huh.
The mouse I ordered, let's see if I can see it here. The mouse in the order that I ordered, the title for it was Mouse Wireless Mouse Gaming Gamer Mute Button Silent Click 800, 1200, 1600, 2400 DPI for computer.
Uh-huh.
I found this mouse because I was looking for a mouse that had a silent click that wouldn't disturb the recording like my normal mouse does. You can hear this click. It's not awesome. So I bought this mouse. It finally arrived after about a month and a half. And this is it's stored away. It's even louder than this mouse I just cluck. It's a past tense for click, right? Cluck?
Clicked.
I want it to be cluck.
I don't think it is.
Cluck.
I clucked my mouse?
No, not I clucked my mouse. I cluck my mouse.
That doesn't sound right.
No. So I ended up opening a dispute with this merchant, and their response was, "We're sorry, the quality was not so good." I didn't really understand where they saw me as talking about quality. I wasn't talking about the quality. The only thing that I did here was order a mouse. So I opened the dispute saying the buttons are not as described. I wanted a refund on the entire amount. And I explained the only reason I purchased this mouse was for the silent click. I needed a mouse that makes no noise. I would not have purchased this mouse if not for the need for silence. I already have a mouse. This mouse was a secondary. Thank you. And I included a video showing them the loudness of the click. So their response was, "Dear sorry, for that is an honest and responsible seller. We also hope..." no, I'm sorry. This was... No, the first response was talking about the quality. And I responded, "No, I'm not talking about the quality." They responded saying they're sorry about the quality. I said, "This is not about the quality. This is what the mouse is. A mouse, according to the description, it is wireless. It is possibly for gaming. What it is not is silent, have a mute button, or probably the 800, 1200, 600, so on and so forth." It finally got to the merchant, to the store's dispute center. They say, "What do you want? This is taking too long. I want my money back." They said, "Okay." So these people, they kept, and then they sent me another message asking me to give them 5 stars after the thing was resolved. How about that? They want me to give them 5 stars after it was resolved. But my initial message actually to them was asking them to remove the product from the page. It's for their own good. If somebody's going to buy this mouse, because the other reviews I saw there also said, "Not a silent mouse." Some of the people got the mouse because it's a mouse and it's okay. It's whatever. It looks like a mouse. It's funky whatever.
So essentially, you just wanted them to change the description from saying "silent mouse" to
either change the description, remove
mouse.
the product, whatever it is. It's for their own good also.
Because it was a mouse.
It is a mouse. It works as a mouse. I don't need it, so I have a spare mouse. Need a mouse?
No.
It's a piece of shit, but
I don't need an extra loud mouse.
So, long story short, too late.
Way too late.
I got to, I found another mouse, and I checked the reviews this time, and this is the mouse I got 3 weeks after I ordered it. Comparing between the other mouse.
I don't hear either one.
He doesn't hear him. I hear him. Very, very happy. Anyway, good night.
That's a great. So let's just wrap this story up. You bought a mouse. You didn't like it. You got your money back. You got a new mouse.
After a very long time. Not a very long time, but it took a little bit of time to get my money back.
All right. Well, we're all happy to hear that you're now happy with your new mouse.
I'm happy to hear that you're happy to hear that I'm happy to have my new mouse.
Well, I'm just happy to hear that the show is finally over. All right. Let's call it quits.
Peace.
Bicycles.